You might have spent a fortune on perennials expecting them to return year after year, only to watch most bloom for a mere 3 weeks before vanishing. I get it, that disappointment stings. My grandmother used to share a simple gardener's secret. Choose wisely once and let the plants carry the work for decades. The reality is, many perennials advertised as long flowering barely give 3 weeks of vibrant color, leaving you with leaves that linger for months without excitement. Essentially, you didn't invest in a garden. You bought a pricey patch of foliage. By the end of this guide, you'll have a precise list of 15 plants, complete with cultivar names, suitable zones, and verified heights backed by actual trial data. These selections consistently provide blooms every month from May through October. You'll also discover which ones require zero deadheading and which remain untouched by deer. Every flowering window listed here is confirmed by research from Mount Cuba Center and Chicago Botanic Garden, ensuring the information is based on trial results, not just nursery claims. One standout in Mount Cuba Center's multi-year trials drew more butterflies than any other garden flocks. Among the 15 plants on this list, 4 are confirmed by botanical gardens to need no deadheading, and we'll make sure each one is clearly marked. Here's how this guide is structured. 15 plants divided into 3 groups. Group 1 features 5 plants whose blooms continue until frost, supported by trial data, not just a sticker on a pot. Group 2 highlights 5 long blooming workhorses that provide 8 to 12 consecutive weeks of color. Combine them with Group 1 and you're guaranteed color every month from May through October. Group 3 contains 5 specialist plants, including 1 perfect for shade, 1 irresistible to hummingbirds, and 1 that settles the catmint debate once and for all. Every entry includes USDA zone, mature height, deer resistance rating, and deadhead requirements. Grab a pen, because you'll want to jot these down. Group 1's 5 selections are proven to bloom until frost through multi-year testing. Plant any of these correctly, and they will reliably earn their spot every year. Geranium Roseanne is a standout. Gardeners from Zone 5 through Zone 8 routinely report nonstop blooms. The Chicago Botanic Garden documented this as truly perpetually in bloom across multiple trial seasons, not marketing hype. Being a sterile hybrid, it channels all energy into flowers rather than seeds. It thrives in zones 5 through 8, reaches 18 to 24 inches, carries a deer resistance rating of B, and requires no deadheading from mid-June through the first hard freeze. Rudbeckia, American Gold Rush, is verified by the All-American Selections Panel, flowering from July through September with color sometimes extending until frost. No deadheading is needed. Its evaluation confirms it thrives in zones 4 through 9 and resists septoria, leaving foliage cleaner midsummer than most black-eyed Susans. As a keystone species, it supports over 20 caterpillar species, and leaving seed heads standing provides winter sustenance. Russian sage, or Salvia yangi, blooms from July through October. Unlike typical floral displays, it creates a persistent haze of soft purple-blue over silver stems. Chicago Botanic Garden notes deadheading is unnecessary and doesn't increase flower production. It grows 36 to 48 inches tall, carries the highest deer resistance rating of A, and thrives when planted at the back of a border and left alone. Salvia cultivars vary by zone. For zones 5 through 7, Maynight blooms heavily in May and June, then sporadically through summer. In zone 7 and warmer, add Amistad, described by Chicago Botanic Garden as prolific from mid-June through frost, attracting bees and butterflies from day 1. Helenium. Autumn Nile replaces Gallardia after research. Revealed Gallardia often lasts only 2 to 3 years and demands frequent deadheading. Helenium endures longer and is far more hands-off, flourishing in zones 3 through 8, reaching 18 to 36 inches. If exposed to wind, stake mid-season. Native bees and monarchs favor it heavily from August onward. These 5 earn the Until Frost badge. So if you buy only 5 plants from this list, start here. Group 2 fills every blooming gap from May through October. One of them finally settles the catmint debate. Its focus isn't frost. It's covering the growing season with consistent color. Catmint and cat's pajamas is a sterile hybrid with no runners or viable seed, forming neat clumps. It's not listed as invasive by USDA, so don't worry about the mint family label. Catmint is non-toxic to dogs, cats, and children, and while felines may roll in it, they leave only slightly flattened clumps in spring. It grows 12 to 14 inches, carries deer resistance rating A, and needs almost no deadheading. Coneflower, Cheyenne's spirit peaks 6 to 8 weeks, with sporadic rebloom into mid-October. Unlike most guides, leave seed heads through winter. Goldfinches, chickadees, and native sparrows feed on them from November through February. Zones 4 through 9 support monarchs, swallowtails, and fritillaries during peak summer blooms. Coreopsis, Moonbeam offers soft yellow flowers and delicate leaves for 8 to 10 weeks from July through August. Perfect for hot yards with limited water. It thrives in zones 3 through 9, 15 to 18 inches tall, and once established, requires minimal watering. Yarrow Moonshine features flat-topped clusters of soft yellow from May through August. Be specific. Request Moonshine as the red variety. Paprika spreads aggressively. It grows 12 to 24 inches in zones 3 through 8 and earns a deer resistance rating of A. Each plant in this group is carefully selected for reliability, color span, and minimal maintenance, ensuring your garden thrives from spring until frost without constant intervention. Once established, these plants are drought-tolerant and irresistible to pollinators, especially native bees and small wasps, working the flat flower heads continuously. Phlox Gina deserves special attention. It topped Mount Cuba Center's multi-year trial for attracting more butterflies than any other garden phlox tested. This North American native, discovered growing wild, blooms from mid-July through early September. Quick gardener debate. Are you Team Salvia or Team Catmint for your summer borders? Cast your vote in the comments. Note on height. While nursery tags claim 3 to 4 feet, Mount Cuba's formal trial recorded it at 60 inches tall and 48 inches wide. Give it 5 feet of space or stake it mid-season, and never plant it at the front of a border. Layer these 5 with Group 1, and your garden will boast blooms every month from May through October. The catmint debate is now settled, and a smart gardening secret is shared weekly. Group 3 holds the shade specialist and the plant that hummingbirds compete over. Every garden has unique niches. These 5 fill shade corners, hummingbird territory, late season gaps, and spots where the first 10 plants won't cooperate. Daylily Happy Returns is a compact rebloomer, hardy in zones 3 through 9, drought tolerant once established, and benefits from occasional deadheading. Far more forgiving than Stelladoro, it allows you to skip days without losing the next flush. Always request the cultivar name, as nurseries may shelve it alongside inferior varieties. Growing 18 to 24 inches in zones 3 through 9, it offers continuous flashes from June through the first frost, delivering one of the longest daylily bloom windows available at this price point. Veronica Royal Candles presents deep blue-purple spikes from mid-June onward, providing 4 to 6 weeks of dense bloom that drives bees and butterflies into a frenzy. Perfect for sunny borders in zones 4 through 8, 15 to 18 inches tall, and if you remove the main stem when it finishes, secondary spikes follow within weeks, noticeably extending the display. Heuchera, specifically Velosa types like Caramel or Citronelle, is the sole shade specialist on this list. Most gardeners think of Heuchera as a foliage plant, and rightly so. The leaves remain stunning year-round. Its flowers in deep purples, caramels, silvers, and limes appear August through September. Mount Cuba Center trialed 83 Heuchera cultivars and found Velosa types excelled in hardiness, vigor, and adaptability. Grow it in zones 4 through 9 and avoid untested fancy cultivars. Crocosmia Lucifer boasts fiery red arching stems from July through August. North Carolina State University confirms it illuminates gardens and draws hummingbirds in droves. Ruby-throated hummingbirds treat this plant like it owes them money. It thrives in zones 5 through 9, reaching 24 to 40 inches. For gardeners in Oregon or the Pacific Northwest, plant it within a buried root barrier or a large container to prevent spreading. Scabiosa Butterfly rounds out the list with lavender blue pincushion flowers, blooming continuously from June through October. Mount Cuba's trial confirmed it outperforms Imsonia, which blooms only 2 to 4 weeks. Zones 3 through 9, 8 to 12 inches tall, lightly deadhead every few weeks to maintain continuous flushes and enjoy a steady stream of butterflies, including skippers and painted ladies. These final 5 plants solve the problems the first 10 cannot: shade corners, hummingbird hotspots, and late season color in a compact footprint. Match the plants to your garden's challenges. Quick recap. 15 plants divided into 3 groups. Group 1 guarantees blooms until frost, verified by trial data. Group 2 fills gaps from May through October, and Group 3 manages shade, hummingbirds, and spots where nothing else thrives. 4 of the 15 require no deadheading. Roseanne, American Gold Rush, Russian Sage, and Cat's Pajamas. Every plant on this list has trial-tested bloom data, not marketing claims or pot labels. The cost math is simple. 15 plants averaging $18. Each totals $270 once versus $200 to $400 per year on annuals over 10 years, adding up to $2,000 to $4,000 for a garden that falls silent each August. Phlox Gina genuinely attracted more butterflies than any other tested phlox at Mount Cuba, making it the perfect choice if you plant just one near a favorite window. Here's your action for this weekend. Screenshot the badge for the plant suited to your zone, ask for it by its cultivar name at your garden center, don't settle for just phlox or catmint, get the exact cultivar, and come back to comment on your pick. Gardeners in your same zone are reading these comments because the difference between a 3-week garden and a 7-month garden comes down to these 15 plants your nursery likely never showed you. To learn how to prepare the soil for these perennials without heavy digging, watch the video on your screen. Happy gardening!